Sometimes the most powerful business lessons come from the most unexpected places. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating case study about a legendary rock band's rivalry that reveals two totally different paths to success. And trust me, this is a lesson that goes way beyond the music industry.
And oh, is there drama. This isn't just some small disagreement. We're talking about a full-blown rock and roll soap opera. We've got shifting lineups, a really dramatic split, and a fan base that's literally being forced to choose sides. It's a story you might think you've heard before, but this one has a very interesting twist.
But if you look just a little bit closer, you'll see this is so much more than just a fight between musicians. It's actually a real-world clash between two very distinct, very powerful business strategies. So let's break down how this all got started.
Okay, so the main conflict right now really boils down to two massive competing events. These two concerts are forcing the band's entire community, especially the fans, to pick a side.
Think about it. 40 years of history are on the line, and you've got two bands, both born from the exact same legacy, who are both claiming the right to celebrate that legacy. So the big question is, who really gets to own the anniversary?
So in one corner, you've got Wings. This is the official brand, the big name, and they've announced this huge 40th anniversary show. But then in the other corner, you have Barbarik, a band formed by a key former member. And get this, they announced their own massive concert scheduled just 2 weeks after the first one.
To really understand how we got to this point, we need to hit rewind, because this fight isn't new. Not at all. It's really the culmination of decades of a constantly changing, constantly revolving door of band members.
At the heart of it all are two absolute legends. You've got Awie, the founding vocalist, kind of the original face of the band. And then you've got Joe, the lead guitarist who joined later, but was responsible for creating their most iconic and commercially successful sound. And this timeline just shows you how much of a roller coaster their history has been. I mean, it starts with their debut. Then the guitarist Ja joins, and bam, they break out with massive hits. At their absolute peak, the original singer Awie leaves and gets replaced by Mus. Years later, Awie comes back for this huge reunion. And that brings us to today, where the guitarist Ja is removed from the band, which basically sets the stage for this whole rivalry.
Now let's zoom in on that final split, because that's the moment that directly created the two competing bands that we're seeing battle it out today.
So after Joe leaves Wings, he doesn't just, disappear. No way. He forms a new group called Barbarik, and he does it specifically to perform songs from the era when Mus was the singer for Wings. So you can see he was already building this separate brand based on a very specific, very popular time in the band's history.
And the timing here is just everything. First, Awie's Wings announces their big anniversary show. Okay. Just 1 month later, two longtime members suddenly quit the band. And then, only a few days after that, they're officially announced as special guests for Barbarik's concert. I mean, the whole thing happened so fast, and it was all very, very public.
So with this incredibly public and dramatic split, the most important people in this whole equation, the fans, were forced to make a decision.
This is the question they're all debating online, in fan groups, you name it. What even is the real Wings experience anymore? Is it the original singer with the official band name, or is it the group of musicians who actually created that iconic, famous sound?
Let's just break down what they're looking at. Awie's Wings concert. Well, it has half of the original lineup, and it's got the founder, the original singer. It has the powerful official Wings brand name. Barbarik's concert, on the other hand, features 3/4 of what many fans would call the band's absolute best and most iconic lineup, plus the vocalists from their popular late 90s era. The general buzz is that Barbarik is offering the more authentic sound.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, if you look past the drama, this whole rock and roll soap opera is actually a perfect masterclass in business strategy. I mean, really, if you strip away all the music and the big personalities, what are you left with? At the end of the day, you have two products competing for the exact same market, and each one is using a completely different approach to try and win.
Awie's Wings is going with what we can call play big. They're using that official brand name, booking a massive venue, and they're really aiming for mass appeal. Meanwhile, Joe's Barbarik is choosing to serve your niche. They're catering specifically to the diehard fans of one particular era, in a smaller, more intimate setting. They're building on loyalty, not just legacy.
And ultimately, the lesson is right here in this quote.
Neither of these strategies is automatically right or wrong. One is leveraging brand recognition to go for the masses, while the other is targeting a super passionate, super loyal niche. The best choice always depends on your own capacity. What are your goals? What are your resources? And what can you realistically pull off?
So as you think about your own project or your own business or brand, which of these strategies makes more sense for you? Do you play big and lean on the name? Or do you serve your niche and build something from a passionate, dedicated core? It's a fundamental question that every single brand, whether it's a rock band or a tech startup, eventually has to answer.